Hey guys, so yeah, I know it's super late, but I'm filming at this time because I couldn't fall asleep. So I said, let me work on this a little bit. I already did a little bit of fixing from the last time I streamed, and we're gonna continue on. We're gonna do the UI right now to show information about the job. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna exclude UI. We're gonna create a new. Okay, I think we already have info here. Yeah, we actually had it prepared, but we didn't uh, really use it. So let's just make this stats info visible. So we're gonna make this visible, and this is what we're changing. Okay, this is very pretty UI, isn't it? But yeah, so we don't want to see that. So we're going to be fixing this and remove all of these almost all. But before we remove them, I'm going to put them into an old frame just so that we can reference them until we're completed putting the actual one. So we just move all this into an old frame. Okay, so now in our info frame, honestly, I think I should just restart an entire new info frame. So we'll just make this info old. Okay, and then we're going to create a strange UI, and this frame is going to be for our info. So this info old, we're going to make it invisible for now, and when we need it, we'll make it visible. Okay, so our info frame is going to be big. Yeah, so when this happens that you accidentally bring this with you, you have to get out of UI mode to remove, take it out, and then go back into UI mode. Okay, so now let's just, and this frame we're making is when you click on this button up here. So when you click on this button, it should open up this frame that we're creating right now. Okay, so now this frame, I'm gonna make it a little pretty big. Okay, and it's going to have a menu. So we're gonna have some menu icons. Okay, so in this frame, the menu icons will be buttons. So there'll be some text buttons. So we'll make another frame, and this is going to be called menu buttons. Okay, and we're gonna put those text buttons in that. So we're going to take it and bring it here. So here is going to be our menu buttons. Okay, so here we have one text button. We don't want our buttons that big, so probably about this big and this big. Yeah, about that. Okay, so we're gonna start off with three buttons. So one is gonna say one for stats, duplicate, one for stats, one for employment, and later on, while we add more functions to the game, we'll be having more buttons. But for now, that's it. And one for titles, because we want to test our titles that we gain. Okay, so now we have all these buttons. We're gonna organize our menu buttons frame, and we're gonna add a UI list layout, and so they're one after the other, but we want to have some more interesting looking button. That button is not very pretty looking. So we're gonna have a more interesting looking button. First of all, let's arrange the location of this button. So let's tell it to go, we're gonna, uh, horizontal alignment will be on the right, because we want it out here. And then we are gonna add a little bit of padding from in the like 0.01 padding in between them. Okay, like this. We do not want to see our menu buttons. And we'll make it the same size just for later on so that we can scale for mobile. We're just gonna make it like this. We'll do that in the future. Okay, so let's make this invisible. invisible, background transparency, none. Okay, so then we have our buttons, and next we want this frame. Um, we want another frame to put the information for each button. Okay, so we're gonna have another frame. We're gonna have one frame for each one. So we have our menu buttons, and we're gonna have all the frames in one frame. So then we decide which one we want to visible at the time. So here we're gonna have panels, okay, and then we're gonna have different panels within this. So this frame we want it invisible. So where are you? Background transparency to one. Okay, so now these panels frame, we're going to make it bigger like this. There we go. And we're gonna put frames in that frame. So then we're going to have three frames in the frame. Okay, all about the same height. We can do that using scale, which we will be doing later on because we want when we go on mobile. If you guys have opened the game on mobile, you will see that it's horrible because I usually do that very last. It's probably a good idea to do it right away, but I don't go use the game on mobile for a while. After we're gonna adjust the scales for that. Okay, so now that we've got this frame, I'm gonna duplicate twice, and we're gonna give them the same name. So this will be the stats frame. This will be the employment frame, and this one will be the title frame. Okay, so we have a one frame for each of these. Now we're gonna make this into buttons. We're gonna say that we're gonna give them the tag menu buttons, and then for each one we're going to add uh, an object value, which will be named frame, like all our buttons. And here, paste, and then we're gonna see titles. Open the titles frame, employment. Open the employment frame, and status. Open the stats. Open the stats frame. At the same time, we're going to name this as a menu panel so that when you open one, it will close the other one. Menu panel. Okay, there we go. So now, we're good. Now we're going to now we're gonna do the design. We're gonna start with designing our buttons. Hi, thank you, thank you for the like. Okay, so now for our buttons, we're going to adjust the color. So we're gonna do some pretty buttons. We're gonna make the background color a dark. We haven't choose a theme color. Oh, I did say that I wanted to go with these colors here. So we're gonna use the pick screen color so that you can easily hover onto these and click. Whoops, I clicked the wrong one. Hover here and click on it. But I want a dark color, so it's literally like it's more like a greenish. So we're gonna have this dark color here, but we're gonna add some transparency. Okay, and we do want a border color. So the border is there, but you can't see it because the size is 0. So we're gonna put some size on our border so we can actually see it. If we put it 2, we can see it even better. But because it's highlighted, you can't see. So now we're gonna choose for the border color. I want it a lighter color. So we might have a lighter blue. To see better, we're gonna, there we go. So here you guys can see it a little better. Our border is a little too thick. I don't want it to be that thick. So we go back to border size in pixels, just 1 pixel. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna edit the text on those buttons. So the text, we're going to do scaled. Maybe not, but for now we'll put a scale and we'll decide next. The color is probably gonna be white to add some contrast. However, we are going to put text stroke color, and I'm gonna make the text stroke color very similar to the button, but darker. We can't see it because it's at zero. So if we put, oh, text stroke transparency is fully transparent. So now that we make it not transparent, you can't see it. It's very, well, maybe I can't see it. My eyes aren't that great. Yeah, I know it's pretty late, but thanks though for passing by. um, yeah, and let's choose a font. No, ugly. Mm, I don't know. No, not. It doesn't match that. Not stars. Maybe this one. Let's put the actual text, and maybe that might inspire us for a font, so that we'll see that looks nice. So let's put the text. So this one will be stats. This one will be employment or job. Actually, let's just call it job. And the title for the next one, it'll be title. Okay. So the font is definitely too big, so we'll not put text font scaled. Either we, yeah, we're gonna make it not scaled. It's too big. I don't like. Or the other thing is you can add a padding. Yeah. But I will not make it scaled. So it's not scaled. So we're gonna choose a size like this size. Okay, this way. Okay, so now we have the global look of the buttons. Next is for the frames. Now the frames are going to have a similar color. Um, I should have just copied that color, not to go. I'll just copy it. Okay, so the frames background color is not gray, is not white. Okay, we'll be like this, and we will add some transparency. The reason is because the panels at the back is white, so even if we add transparency, you cannot tell. So now that we've removed it, okay, so if we move around, you can see behind a little bit. Okay, so yeah. So I guess same transparency as the button. So the button is at 0 0.4, so we'll make this also at 0 0.4. Alright, there we go. Alright, next, we're gonna have a title for the panel, for each panel. So let's say we're in the stats, so that we know which panel we're in. So we're gonna put um, text label, which will be in the center, so 0 0.5. And we want to put it in 0 0.5 on X, and we want to put it on Y at 0. And then in our position, X position, we're using scale. X we want it at 0 0.5, and Y we want it at 0. Yeah, it's at 0 already. We might put just a little bit. 0 0.1 is too much. 0 0.01. Okay, there we go. The reason why you can't see curly is because they're one on top of each other. So I have to make the others invisible, yeah, so that you can see. Okay, so this text label will be the title, and the text on this title will be stats. Should we text scale? No, we're gonna use the font size. Okay, we're going to make the background same color as this, and the text It's gonna be white. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, I guess we can do that for now. Um, and we'll just call this panel title. Okay, and same for all the others. You can't see them because they're invisible. We're gonna adjust the title so that we can see. This one is import a job. We change it to job because I think for now we're gonna only be able to have one job at a time. Okay, now titles. Whoops, titles. Okay, so you can change your titles. You can't see them; they're invisible. Okay, so now going back to stats because we're starting with stats. We're going to add another frame to stats, which we're gonna bring uh, down here, which will actually be, oh no, don't move that. Now this frame will be our stats. So we'll call this, well, this will be stats panel. Okay, and this here is gonna be our stats in there. Oh, oh my gosh, I named the wrong thing. Stats. Okay, and then in our stats, we're gonna have more frames. So multiple frames in our stats frame. Just bring this down to here for now. Um, and in that frame, actually make it full size. Okay, so in each frame of stats, we will have two information. So we're gonna add. We need two text labels. Text label, two of them, and we're going to use a UI layout. This layout to make it. We want them horizontal. And let's put a background color so that we can, let's put an example text. So, if we say how much money that we have, we don't need this here because we already have it here, but we'll put it there anyways. So if we want to know how much money we have, and then here we're gonna say, well, we've got $200. Okay, so, this background, let us now change it to transparent. So we can focus on this frame right now. This frame is also going to be transparent. Okay, and now we need to adjust these two. Um, let's layout. We could actually use a grid layout. Honestly, I think I will actually go for a grid layout. So instead of this, we will go for a grid layout. Remove this frame, and oops, I should just directly take these and put them here, and then delete this frame. And we're gonna use a grid layout. But that's not, we have to change the size of what we need. So in our grid layout, we're going to say X scale. We're going to use scale so that when we're on mobile, we have no problems. So scale for X is this way. So pretty much, and it's usually in proportion not to the full screen, but to its parent, so the stats frame, which I made this size. So almost half of it, which is 0.5. Where did I do it? So cell size, no offset. Instead, we want like 0.5. And Y, no offset. We want like the scale to be about 0.2. We have a column somewhere home. Okay, we have cell size down here, which that's the padding. I was wondering what I meant with this wrong. Okay, our padding is a 0. We're not putting the padding yet. We're starting with the size. So 0 scale and zero point 0.5, 0 offset and zero point 0.1. We're starting at that. Okay, so 0.5 is too much. Let's say 0.45 because we're adding a padding later on. And y even a little smaller, 0.05. 0.07. That's percentage, by the way, of the height of y. Okay, and we will make a space in between. So the padding we want scale on x 0.01, y scale 0.01, and we'll know what it looks like when we add two more and more, 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 more. Okay, so if you have an answer, and we want it to be centered in the middle, not this way. So horizontal center. Okay, all right. So we'll call this money, and then money A for amount. And I guess we're gonna say money T for title. Um, money title. Oh, we actually don't need to. We don't actually need to. Yeah, we'll put it just because there's so many and we don't want to get mixed up. And then money tax. Next, what were the other stats that we needed to save? So we're gonna our stats that we had invisible. We're gonna go on. So this is gonna be info. Okay, our info old. Where are you? Okay, let's make you visible and see what are the stats that we need. Info, make you visible. Okay, so we have a lot of information, but for now, we're only gonna put some of them. Like yeah, money. Um, this will be for health. This is health title, let's say. Health title. This will be for the next one is energy. So energy title, energy. Okay, and for the rest, we will put them later on. Okay, now let's fix up our titles. Health should say health, and energy should say energy. Okay, now all the titles we're going to align to the left, right side, and we're gonna add a padding. Actually, we don't need to because it will be there. And then for the values, we're gonna align to the left. Okay, so it looks like we might want more padding as they're too close to each other. Okay, and now for the font and the size. So the font, make this the big font. Let's see. Many. Okay, and we want a nice font now. That's for our stats. Hmm. No, we want something that looks game stat-ish. I don't know how to explain that. Money head. I don't know. Okay, we'll leave this one for now. We're gonna use the very same for the many health energy, but for in a bit. I'm just seeing what's yeah. So we're going to have white text with the black border. So text color background now is gonna be transparent. We want the border color to be black, but we want to see it. Can't see it yet because our text color is black. We'll start out with white text color. I cannot see the border because I'm mostly blind. Uh, oh my gosh, not border, stroke. Um, stroke transparency. Okay, so there we go. Yeah. So at the end of each of these, I'm going to put two dots and a space. So two dots like that. One space. Okay, we'll do that for health title. Two dots and a space, and energy title. White and space. Money, I think, has an extra space by accident. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna do the same for the values. We had chosen Microma font, and we're gonna try to remember these fonts to use in the other places, the other frames as well. Microma, there we go. It's actually pretty nice with the values. Okay, and then I forgot what text size we went with. Hee ha ha. Okay, let's do this for now, and then the color, text color. Let's make that's the stroke. Oh, the stroke we don't touch. We just make it visible, and the color we had black. We made it white. Okay, and we're gonna remove the background of this. Um, Alright, so let's see. Let's make something more for health, for example. Health. Let's say that we've got 50 out of 100. Energy. We'll fix that after we're gonna have 60 out of 100. Okay, so our grid, we're gonna make some more space on the Y. So the cell padding, you can actually do cell size as well, but cell padding is better for this. On Y, we want to make it a little more space, so let's put 0.02. Yeah, although we will add some more later on, let's just add that. Okay, so that's it now for the stats. And we want these stats to be updated every time to make sure that they're up to date while the player is playing. So we're going to make sure we go to oh, of course we want to make sure when we click on this it opens here. We hadn't set that up yet. So the top bar, when you click on that book icon, I remove the stats button. It should open. So the frame that it should open now is info frame. So it should open this frame. Okay. We need a close button. We'll deal with that later on. And okay. So now let's go to our attribute player attributes. I really should change the name of this script. Every time I'm looking for this script, I can never find it because I forgot what name I used. But it's there. Okay, let's. Oh, I recall that this is on the player, so it's in the player. So the player script. Stats manager. Okay, so every time we change, we get attributes. So wherever we're searching for it is in place. That is now in a different place. It's in Screen UI. Waiting for child info. Oh, we actually end up naming it the exact same as before. Let's find out. Screen UI info. Nope, panels. After info is panels, and after panels, then it's stats panel, then stats. Oh my gosh. Okay, so info, copy the info, then panels, then stats panel, then stats. Okay, all right, and then we've got them in there. Okay, so we check if there's an attribute for this, then we change the value if it's money, if it's saving, if it's checking. Okay, so let's go test. Let's go test this out. Oh, we want to make this invisible. Yeah, it's really rude. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm pretty sure everyone's saying like, why is she up so late and she's talking so loud? Okay, I'm gonna go to bed soon. Okay, so let's get our screen GUI. This info. We're gonna make it invisible. Visible. Um, visible false. Okay, now let's test. Oh my gosh, we've got some errors already. We don't see the rest. We only have oh, I know why. Okay, I'll do that later. Okay, so here we've got our stats. Um okay, so attributes. So let's see how we named our attributes. Okay, so now it's not dot value, it's directly dot text. Okay, so now we see our money, but for money we want to make a dollar sign. We lost our dollar sign. So yeah, I've got $105. That's all I've got. I'm so poor. Um, yeah. So let's now close that and yeah. So that's the how we're gonna do this layout from all the UI, and later on we're gonna change them with awesome graphics, but for now, this will be our main what all our panels will look like. Where is it again? And so yeah, so I'm going to be visible again, pretty much like this. Okay, so we're gonna continue. Um, if I can wake up, get me up so late. I don't know if I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning early enough before work. So if I do, and I'll be streaming. If not,